Welcome back to 30 Minutes. Addiction can affect anyone, no matter your age, race, and gender.
Earlier, you met Dustin Brown. He turned his life around, got his kids back, and now he's giving back to the community. Now meet a woman who had a similar uphill climb. For her story, we turn to our Emily Braun.
Well, Jessica, her addiction took her down, but her recovery led her to a brighter beginning. She says she owes it all to the woman who put her behind bars. Christina Allison knew devotion from a young age.
My parents were both really hard workers. My mom pretty much stayed home and took care of us.
Lessons she uses to teach her own daughters.
They're both in school. They're straight A students. They're kind of keeping me on my toes.
She says they are her world, but she lost focus, and it cost her everything.
I kind of got into depression.
It all started about 20 years ago. Allison got hurt at work. Several pieces of auto equipment fell on top of her. She didn't know at the time it would change the course of her life.
I ended up quitting that job because it was so painful to go back to work. So they had me on medications for just pretty much anything you could think of.
Things got tougher at home, too.
It's kind of stressful raising two kids by yourself and having no support.
The physical pain continued, so she turned to prescription drugs. She got hooked on Vicodin. After a year, her doctor stopped prescribing it to her.
I guess my brain went into shock, and instead of going to get help, I went and bought them off the street.
When she couldn't afford the pills any longer, she turned to her brothers, who were addicted to drugs.
Try this, you know, it only is 20 bucks, and this will last you all day long.
After her first dose of heroin,
it was just downhill after that. I lost my house, I lost pretty much my kids, my family. I started stealing. I just stopped caring.
One day, she tried to steal food from this grocery store. She was caught.
Jennifer Smith is the one that actually booked me in on the arrest, and she booked me for burglary instead of attempted theft.
We had a little talk about life and some of the choices that were being made and things that she needed to do to get her life back on track.
Jennifer Smith knew firsthand how drugs can tear a family apart, and saw parents of kids she used to teach struggle with addiction.
For me now, I can kind of fix it on the other side of things. You know, at school I was sort of limited to the school day with the children, but now, you know, I can actually go into the homes and try to make a difference.
Allison says that's exactly what she did for her.
After I sat there and I thought about everything she said to me, I was just like, man, that lady saved my life by booking me for a higher charge. Because if I would have got out that night, I probably would have went right back to it.
Instead, she sat in jail. When she was about to lose hope, she picked up a Bible. She read it 3 times. Then she started to have faith. Things could and would get better. And she felt for the first time she could make that happen. It started with her oldest daughter.
I was writing her and writing her and writing her, and she wouldn't write me back. And then she finally showed up to the jail one day with my parents, and I was like, oh my God, she's back. And she's like, Mom, I see you change, and I miss you so much.
She continues to battle her demons, but she has a new apartment and a better outlook on life, filled with opportunity to turn addiction into a way to inspire others.
In the last 3 years, we've seen a lot more change in that really people are being wiped out by heroin overdoses.
Susan Perkins with the Prairie Center says what people need now is someone who has gone through it.
Sometimes people get hopeless and they think they can't recover.
It's showing people that there is hope and you can get help.
I just hope that she can help conquer the issue with heroin that's going on here in Vermilion County.
Allison says she's devoting her new life to doing just that.
If I would have had a group of people before, I'm not sure I would have put myself in that position.